First of all, welcome to Moonday Yoga Rise and Warm Up with Soul and Sun Yoga. My name is Amberly. I am your yoga teacher today. And first, I would just like to welcome you and tell you how grateful I am for you being here with me. To show up in unity consciousness means everything. And when we can come together in a commonality, in a beautiful resonance with consciousness and all of the awareness as it is arising. That's a beautiful thing. So I invite you then to come together with me in this experience of solar plexus, chakra, balancing, and alignment. So we've been going through a series at Soul and Sun Yoga of the chakras. We worked with the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra, and then we moved into our Svadhisthana or sacral chakra last week, and now we're moving into our Manipura, our solar plexus chakra. Lies right at the pit of our stomach, right in between our rib cage, right where, like, if you feel like you got the wind knocked out of you, that's where it feels. If you feel like you've got, a gut feeling that something's going on, right there is usually where you feel it. When you feel disempowered, a lot of the times we feel it there. When we say, that experience, it was so deep that I felt like the wind was knocked out of me. Well, that's for good reason. Our diaphragm rests right here and is wrapping around our rib cage in a way where it is lifting. It expands downward with our inhalation and it lifts to expel the air from our lungs out and disperses. So it's an amazing, amazing tool to be able to work with this area and to really activate the center, but also release when necessary. So we will be working through activation and release of the energetics of the masculine divine and really allowing our light to shine today. So in the root chakra, we were working with our right to have, our right to be here. It's our birthright. And in our sacral chakra, we were really working with our right to feel all of the emotions, our deep desires, our emotions are right here in the waters of our body, and we are made up of over 70% water. We can really invoke that and tap into that area by doing an intention-based practice around that energetics, and we can really draw that energy into that area and feel it and really feel into our emotional area. Good morning. Well, I'm just introducing how it is that we can activate our different chakras, and today's class will be really focusing on our solar plexus chakra, and that is the space of the right to act, our right to create in a way that we are producing, right? Because our creation station is really in our sacral chakra, but then we're moving that out and up and really producing that space of awareness in our solar plexus and empowering it and making it happen. Here we're feeling it, here we're making it happen. We are standing in our power and we're saying, yes, I have a right to be here, I have a right to feel, and I have a right to put all of my dharma, my nature, and my karma, which is my action, into good use. So with that, here we go with our practice. I invite you to use 2 blocks because just in case, you know what I mean? I really wholeheartedly believe in support, because when we are working in any kind of an asana practice, I think it's really important for us to warm our muscles up before going straight into an asana. And so in that way then, when we're easing into these postures, you can use the support until your muscles are nice and warmed up and ready to receive the lengthening, okay? So that you don't hyperextend, so that you don't injure your tendons, okay? I've got an anxious kitty cat. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. All right. So grab 2 blocks and also grab a blanket, just in case your knees can tend to get a little agitated when they're being used and having pressure being put on them with all of your weight, because we will be going into a series of Chakra Vrikasana with a little twist. So I encourage you to have the blanket, like a yoga blanket as such, and a couple of blocks, and meet me on your mat. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see me all right. I'm just going to try and adjust the lighting a little bit. All right. Go ahead and find yourself in an easy seat position. That can be Sukhasana, that can be Ardha Siddhasana. It can be with your legs extended out in front of you. However that looks for you, just go ahead and find yourself down on your floor space where your mat is. Eventually, I will create a series for more inclusive yoga, more functional yoga in the way that you can do it in a chair, you can do it on a couch, however it works for you best. In this series, though, we will be working with our mat and on the floor. So go ahead and settle in. Just find the space beneath you. Find your breath through your nose. And exhale it all out through the mouth. However you're finding yourself today, if it's your evening, if it's your afternoon, if it's your morning, just go ahead and release anything that has followed you into this space with your exhalations, and invite all of your wisdom, all of your experience with the energetic bodies that are swimming around in and through you. Invite that all in with your inhalation. And then just let it all out with a sigh, that which no longer serves you at this moment right here. One more just like that. Deep, deep, deep breath in and let it out. Sometimes that's all that's needed, huh? So in this series that we're doing with the chakras, we are doing a different invocation than the typical Niralambam invocation. And so in that way, we are really bringing in our awareness and already activating all 7 chakras that are running up and down our spine, okay? So by doing that, we're just going to bring our hands into the Namaskar Mudra. And just bring them to your heart space for a moment so that we can always begin. Home. Home is where the heart is. And breathe into that space. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Allow the spine to be nice and tall. And then draw the fingers down. And place your palms still in Namaskar Mudra, right at your sit bones, right where your feet lie in front of your pelvis. And then when we begin, we will start with Om Namo, and then we begin with Muladhara Namaha. Okay, so we will go Om Namo Muladhara Namaha. Om Namo Muladhara Namaha. Om Namo Svaristana Namaha. Om Namo Svaristana Namaha. bring your fingers upwards to your solar plexus. Om Namo Manipura Namaha. Om Namo Manipura Namaha. Bring your hands up to your heart. Om Namo Anahata Namaha. Om Namo Anahata Namaha. Up to your throat. Om Namo Vishuddhanamaha. Om Namo Vishuddhanamaha. Up between your eyebrows. Om Namo Ajnanamaha. Om Namo Ajnanamaha. Up above your head. Om Namo Sahasranamaha. Om Namo Sahasranamaha. Good. Now we have a little bit of fun with it. Clap your hands. Om Namo Sahasrara. Om Namo Agnyam. Om Namo Vishuddha. Om Namo Anahata. Om Namo Manipura. Om Namo Sarisana. Om Namo Muladhara. Rub your hands together, create some friction. And place that over your face. Open your eyes under your fingers and welcome in the light. As we welcome in the brightness today, we will do a mandala practice where we begin on our north-facing side of our mat and we will continue going east and south and west and back to the north. And as we do this practice, we are just really drawing the awareness right to our solar plexus chakra, right in this region here where we are really feeling into our right to act, our right to put our good faith into action, knowing that God consciousness is working through us, as us. And we start with our pies journaling in the morning, as I recommend to my students. That way you are meeting yourself where you are today, and you are allowing yourself to sit in the awareness of your physical body, Annamaya kosha, your intellectual body. Manomaya kosha. Breathing into your emotional body. Vijnanamaya kosha. And allowing the spiritual body to come through and tell you what it already knows for you. The Anandamaya kosha. All thread together with our breath. The Pranamaya kosha. And so as I encourage my students to sit in journaling with these pious bodies, you can ask your physical body how it is that you want to feel today and how it is that you can show up physically to feel at your highest today. You write it down. And same with the intellectual body. You just breathe and sit and listen with the ear behind the ear at what your mental body wants you to know for it today. What kinds of thoughts do you want to be having today to be vibrating at your highest frequency? And you write those down. Make sure that you come back to them. And when you couple these affirmations and intentions with an asana practice, then you are working through the motions in a somatic experience, releasing that which no longer serves and inviting in your intention for your week, for your day, for your breath. It could be one breath at a time, truly. And so with that said, oh, lovely. My cat came and sat on my notes. So in the honor of the cycles with the sun and moon, really inviting in that sun aspect, letting it shine from our solar plexus, we are doing that mandala practice. And we're just going to begin here with a few ohms. We already did our indication. So if you are in a comfortable seated position, that could be Sukhasana, that could be Ardha Siddhasana. I have a little friend with me today. We have a mascot. This is Surabi, this divine little cow here. And he just loves to be in the videos. It's so cute. If you go back on them, you'll probably see. Or on my Instagram, whatever, Earth Mother Lover with underscores in between. You'll see he's a little mascot. But here we go with our ohms. So really focusing that there's an initiation to the sound ah, there is a progression to the sound ooh, and there is a dissolution to the sound mm. And so with those three, bring your hands to your heart and Namaskar Mudra. Take a deep breath in. Let it all out. Breathe to chant. We begin. Again. One more time. And just inviting the awareness of sound creation into our space. Go ahead and drop your fingertips down to the earth on either side of you and just feel into the space and really push your fingertips into the earth here, almost lifting your body up, almost lifting the body up. Just feel that strength and activation in your arms here, in your shoulders. And draw the shoulders away from your ears. Really feel the activation in the back body here, breathing through the movements, maybe an inhalation when you push down, and an exhalation to release. Inhaling to push, and exhaling to release. Just feeling maybe a little bit of activity right at the base of your rib cage right here. Just pushing, a little bit of pressure. And make sure that you have a nice foundation in your fingertips. That means that you're drawing in the muscle energy. So you're not just like loose with your fingers, you're nice and like, it's like you're gripping onto a ball. Maybe grab one of your blocks and just grab onto your block and really grip it tight. You feel the activation in your fingertips. Maybe you feel all the way up to your shoulders, through your arms and into your shoulders, even into your pecs here, the pec muscles. That is the activation you want to feel all the way in through your shoulders. So you're bringing in that muscle energy from your fingertips all the way to your heart place and into your solar plexus. So it's an inhalation when you push away, and exhalation to release. Inhale and release. Inhale and release. 3 more. Inhale, release. Inhale, release. Inhale and release. Shake that out. Excellent. Go ahead and just bring the palms of your hands loosely onto your knees, and then just like kind of wing out your arms so that you're nice and loose here. Don't bring in the strength and like be like this. Just allow yourself to be nice and loose, okay? And then roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders back. Allow some range of motion in your shoulder girdle here. And then just let it go. Maybe bring the shoulders up to your ears and then side out. Let it go. Back up with your inhalation, and then let it go with a sigh. One more of those. Inhale up. Exhale, let it out. All right, so now we're gonna work on our neck and just moving our neck with our breath. So the exhalation draws the chin down towards the chest. The inhalation brings the back of the head towards the back body. But when you're doing this, just watch me really fast before you start. When you're doing this, a real important thing to protect the neck is that you're not just dropping into this asana, okay? Let me go sideways so that you can see what I'm doing here. So one thing that's really important is that you're not just, allowing the neck to drop down and then drop down. That can be really, really detrimental on not only your neck, but your shoulders. So you really want to kind of give yourself a double chin when you are doing these neck movements. This is really important. So just listen up and watch, okay? So alignment is everything when it comes to becoming aware of the body, because you are seeking agency within. That means that whatever you're doing and exercising, you are building your proprioception, your awareness to the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies while you are doing whatever it is that you're doing. It could even be walking or running or jogging or anything. You could be doing it when you're sitting on your computer, but in this case, we're putting a lot of really good intention into movement. Okay, but when we're doing that, we're nice and aligned. And that means that we're not harming ourselves. The first virtue of the yama limb, which is the first limb of Ashtanga yoga or Raja yoga, is non-harming, ahimsa. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. So when you exhale, you're bringing your chin down, not too rigid, of course, but also when you're inhaling, you see how I'm creating a double chin here? I'm already activating my neck muscles to bring my neck back with my inhalation. Allowing my neck to stretch all through the sternocleidomastoid muscles, all through the superficial trapezius muscles, even through the levator scapulae, and the splenic muscles that are behind the trapezius muscles in the neck. So when we're engaging in this way, now we are strengthening and lengthening at the same time, which is really important. So your exhale brings the chin down. Inhale brings the chin up. Exhale back down. Okay, so that's going to be one movement. Next movement is really going to be on your inhalation, bringing your ear to your shoulder. So you're inhaling. And you see, I'm not just dropping over. Okay, that's really important. We're not standing although you can do it when you're standing, and that's totally cool too. That's actually how I learned to do this, but we began seated, so that I just wanted to show you up close what's going on here before we begin. So one thing about yoga is, or maybe your mother taught you that patience is a virtue. It doesn't always work in a flow, especially when you're being taught. You see, when you come onto a class, these are applications that you can use in your own asana practice on your own. So just remember that, when you're in a class and you're like working through this video, it's not necessarily that it's about acceptance, and it's about honoring the teacher and knowing that what they have to say might potentially have some golden nuggets of wisdom in there. And so you just listen. It's transmittance. And it's not always about the asana movements as much as it is about bringing in the awareness to what it is that we're doing for protection, non-harming, for truthfulness, making sure that we are being true to our practice as well as to what doesn't harm us and what makes us feel good. And then really bringing in that awareness to, okay, I'm going to modify. I'm going to be a little bit more continent when it comes to these things, and knowing what it is that my limits today are. So this is my practice. And then not grasping, not holding on too tight. No, I need to do it. I need to do it. I need to do it. I need to do it the way that my mind is thinking it needs to be done. No. We accept, and we allow, and we open up our minds to the potential of newness and something different than what we think that the way that we think that it needs to be. So here we go. With our neck rolls, we start with the exhalation down, inhalation up. Remembering foundation, exhale, center. Inhale left, ear to shoulder. Exhale, center. Inhale right, ear to shoulder. Exhale, center. The shoulders are always away from the ears here. Okay, so nice and active in the sternocleidomastoid muscles so that we're not harming ourselves. Okay, here we go. Bring your hands comfortably to your lap if they aren't already, and make sure that your shoulders and your arms are nice and loose. Inhale. Exhale and draw the chin to the chest. Inhale, strong neck, and draw the back of the head toward the back of the body. Exhale, and do this at your own pace. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, center. And go back to your shin to the chest. Inhale, back the head comes back. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale to center. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale to center. Now this is where we switch it up, but we continue with that foundation. Inhale and exhale, roll the chin towards the left and down. Now we're creating the neck roll. Chin comes up, And that's when we start to inhale. Nice strong neck, strong back as we bring our chin up, drawing a circle, and back down with an exhale. I don't know why he incessantly feels like he needs to do this cleaning thing on his bum right in front of the camera all the time. Exhale, chin goes down. Inhale, chin comes up. Drawing a big circle with strength in our necks. Exhale. One more time around. Big sun with our chin. Exhale down. Draw the chin all the way down to the chest. Create a neutral spine. Inhale, come back the other way. Now we're going the opposite direction, exhaling down and inhaling up. Nice range of motion, bringing the chin all the way to the shoulder and back up. Biggest circle that you can create with a strong neck. Very important that you keep a strong neck. That means that you're drawing your chin in a little bit for strength in the back of the neck. One more time around. And when you exhale, you're bringing your chin to your chest and creating a neutral spine again. Inhale, come back to center. And let it all out. So just creating some warmth in the spine, creating some awareness right at the top of the spine, and allowing it to just open up at the shoulders, open up at the shoulders, and open up at the neck. Okay, and by doing that, now we're activating at our throat chakra so that we can hear a little bit better and be more open and receptive to the practice. Okay, I love starting that way. It's a really good way to start your practice as well. Just inviting that as maybe a tool for you. Okay, so now go ahead and bring your left fingertips, like we were at the beginning, to the earth beneath you, and then inhale. Side stretch that right side body by bringing the right arm up overhead. Obviously getting a little sweated here. Inhaling up. Exhale and draw that hand back down. Right hand and finger pads place onto the earth. Inhale and bring the left arm up overhead, creating a left side body stretch here. Breathe there. Another breath comes in. And exhale it out. Allowing the hand to drop to the earth. Again, inhale, right arm comes up overhead. Left hand roots to the earth. Side stretch on the right body. Breathe here. Another inhalation. Stretch a little bit further away with your hands and fingertips, and exhale back down to the center. One more time, left arm goes overhead. Really root those right fingertips into the earth. Exhale here. Inhale and stretch your fingers up a little bit further, creating that brightness on your side body, and exhale back down. Very good. Roll the shoulders back and exhale them drop. Roll the shoulders back and up and drop them back. Or should I say forward and up and back, drop them back. You knew what I meant. Okay, so now we're going to begin. I invite you to use a blanket if this is uncomfortable for you. Oh, Robbie, you're so adorable. I love you. It's my little mascot. So you can bring your blanket, because we will want it in just a moment here, to like the middle of your mat. And then if you want to just place your knees there to kind of get used to the feeling, that might be ideal for you, conducive. So what we're going to do here is just a few seated cat-cows to warm up the spine and the body before we begin our activation of our solar plexus chakra here. So when you inhale, you're drawing the shoulders back and together. Chin comes up, gaze is up towards the ceiling. Exhale and roll the spine out. Chin comes to chest. Maybe you grab the fronts of your knees and pull down. Inhale, sweep the hands up towards your thighs. Shoulders come back and towards one another. And your gaze is up towards the sky. Nice breath. Nice activation. Feel the power right at your solar plexus. And exhale, drawing the shoulders in and spine out. Chin comes to chest. And at your own pace, go ahead and just do some of these. Maybe you want it to be slow, gentle movements. Allowing full breath to come in. And a full exhalation, letting all the air out. In and out. Create a nice rhythm with your breath. And gently move to what your body is asking of you today. A few more. Just come to your neutral seated on your knees position with your heels into your sit bones here. And just notice. Notice where the energy is. Notice if you have any heat that's been activated in your body. Notice the way that your spine feels, and your neck, and your shoulders. Just taking note of the physical body here. And what of your mental body? How is your mind producing its thoughts right now? Do you feel agitated? Do you feel focused? Do you feel ready for more? Just things to take note of, not to judge, not to feel if it's good or bad, right or wrong. Just noticing and becoming aware of our thoughts. So you might want to turn your blanket however it's comfortable for you. You might want to bring it to where it's folded twice for your knees. However you find yourself, what we're going to do is a series of Chakra Vrikasana, okay? And so you're going to come into your tabletop position, but instead of being in like a standard tabletop, you're just going to you're still going to have your knees, hips width distance, but you're going to bring your hands out a little bit wider than directly under your shoulders, okay? So then, you can't really see me very well. Sorry, you got to move. Sorry. Free cat. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, so what we're going to do here is come a little bit forward where our hips are thrusted forward. We're nice and activated at our pelvis. And now our wrists are stacked over, our wrists are stacked directly underneath our shoulders here. Bring your pinkies to the outside of your mat so that that's how wide your arms are away from your shoulders, okay? And then now you're strong in your core, you're strong in your glutes, and you chaturanga down, nose, chin, chest, drop the chest, roll the shoulders up, and like do a modified cobra here. And exhale, push the body away and come into a child's pose. Okay, so that is the series, the sequence. Inhaling forward, thrusting the pelvis, activating at the core. Exhale, chaturanga down, nose, chin, chest. Modified cobra. Exhale, and come back. So when you're inhaling and you're coming down, I really want you to focus on the exhale, bringing your solar plexus down first. Nose, chin, chest, roll the shoulders up, and push away from your solar plexus and back down into your child's pose. Don't sink your hips all the way down into your child's pose, but really feel that space between your ribs, in between your hips or your knees here. Really sinking into that awareness of that space. Inhaling, come up, exhale down, leading with your solar plexus, nose, chin, chest, roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, and come back to your child's pose. A few more of these. The point of these videos is so that you can learn from them and apply this on your own, doing your own svadhyaya, your own self-study, knowing how you can always build this awareness and protect yourself with the foundation, meeting yourself where you are today, how your body wants you to show up for it, and what it needs, and how far it's willing to go. And being honest with yourself, not grasping on too tightly with ego of where you think you need to go with your asana. One more. And just reach back into child's pose and relax. And sit in child's pose for a moment. And just be in that space and notice the way that your body is feeling now. Notice your heart. Notice the blood pumping through your body. And notice that awareness right at your solar plexus, right at the pit of your stomach. Inhale into your tabletop position. Roll the toes, curl the toes under rather, and hinge your hips back into your first down dog of the day. So as you are finding yourself in down dog, just maybe pedal out your feet. I encourage my students, whenever they're pedaling their feet out, to take note of their breath and their arms in space and time. You just want your fingers, you want to spread them out nice and wide here. And you want your pinkies to be touching the outside of your mat. And just make sure that your fingers are nice and parallel with one another, facing forward. And on your inhalation, maybe bend your knees. And when you exhale, just straighten one of your legs. Your inhalation draws your knees bending in towards your chest more. Exhale and straighten one of those legs. Nice straight, long spine here. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, and straighten one leg, keeping the other one bent. And just doing that as many times as needed in order to really be focusing on your breath and allowing this asana to be a place of transition and rest. When you're ready, just straighten out both legs and bring your hips a little bit closer towards the sky. And draw your gaze towards your knees and your chest more towards your thighs. Inhale, look in between your fingers, and slowly walk yourself with maybe your blocks in front of you, knees lovingly bent, and bring yourself into your first modified Uttanasana here. And so as you find yourself centered and stable. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, look up. Bring your hands up all the way overhead. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a back bend here. Hands come together in Namaskar Mudra. Exhale, down to your heart center. And breathe. Find yourself in standing. Hands come on either side of you, palms facing forward. Nice strong foundation in the legs here. And just feel the warmth. Feel your body moving you with your breath. And so we were facing north. Now we're going to face the east, wide on our mats. So come wide on your mat facing the east, and your toes are going to be pointed forward parallel. Okay, nice strong belly here. And just bring your hands to your hips. Good. Now what you're going to do is bring your toes out, nice strong in the core. So that's why I wanted you to first strong and stabilize from your feet facing forward, strong all the way into where your hands are on your hips. Okay, so all the way from your toes, lift and spread them. And then draw or hug in, should I say, your adductor muscles, the muscles at your legs, as well as your shins. So your knees are trying to come in towards one another. You feel that activation? Good. And keep that strength and coming all the way into your gluteals here. Okay. Once you do that, keep strong and turn out the toes towards the front corners of your mat. Okay. So when you do that, now give yourself a little bit of room and grace in your hips. If you're feeling any kind of tightness, adjust accordingly to where you can move your hips without any kind of a resistance or strain here. If there's any kind of a strain, you might want to back out and do this a little bit more modified. Maybe bring your legs a little bit closer together. Maybe when you do this, you do this with a chair. So instead of really bringing yourself in, because we're going to go into what's called sunflowers. So you bring your hands up overhead like this. Your knees are tracking over your toes that are pointed towards the corners of the front of your mat. Okay, you are wide on your mat. Toes are pointed towards the corner front. Knees are tracking over. Pelvis is tilted in. Hands are up overhead. Straighten those knees. Inhale deep. Exhale, cactus the hands out, and knees come into a 90-degree angle. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feel it in your solar plexus. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice strong pelvis here. The pelvis is tilted forward. Nice strength in your hips here. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Back up. Excellent. Now, what do I have here? Yes. Okay, so you're going to bring your feet back forward so that they are facing forward, your toes. Your legs are still going to stay wide. Bend your knees a little bit. Grab a block if you need. And place it at its highest point. Okay? Now straighten the legs. Activate, lift and spread the toes. Activate your legs. Nice, tall, strong spine here. Inhale deep. Exhale forward. Hands come to the tallest modified placement of your block here. Okay, and just breathe. Feel the activation of your legs still, kneecaps are lifted. And maybe go to your second setting of your block. The eye of your arms, of your elbows are facing forward. So you're doing an external rotation with your shoulders here. And just breathe. You might want to bring your legs a little bit wider, however is comfortable to you, with that activation still in your kneecaps and hugging the adductor muscles in toward the core. So right in this region here, you're hugging that in. Okay. You're doing great. Keep going. Eye of your elbows forward. Inhale, bring your left hand up overhead and find yourself in a spinal twist. Exhale, back down. Bringing in the awareness to the solar plexus. Right hand comes up with your inhale. Giving yourself a spinal twist, opening up at the solar plexus. Exhale down. Again, switch sides. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale down. Keep going. Really putting the focus at the solar plexus. A few more. Excellent. Inhale. Exhale and drop to the lowest level of your block. Feel a little bit stronger in the backs of your legs. Feel a little bit more lengthening in your hamstrings. But if at any point you need to back out, please answer the call of your physical body. If your breath isn't stable, then come to either a down dog or child's pose and meet us back when you're ready. Okay, so you're going to hear what you could do is activate strongly. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale and exhale back up. Strengthening at your glutes when you rise. As you root to rise, feel that strength pushing you away at your feet. You feel that there? Wonderful. Now inhale, exhale, and bring your right foot pivoted forward. Make sure that your heel of that back foot and the heel of your right foot are parallel with one another in a line on the same train track. And exhale yourself into Warrior Two. As you find yourself in Warrior Two, really root that back straight leg down into the earth and then draw the strength in from your right knee down. Make sure that your knee isn't over your toes of your bent leg. And strengthen, draw the strength in towards the core from your fingertips, in towards the core, and then really be strong and stable at your hip flexors. So as you bring in that strength and the awareness of your strength, gaze over your right fingertips. And just breathe here. What kind of warrior do you want to be today? What kind of warrior do you want to be? A reverse warrior. Inhale. Palm comes up towards the sky. Left hand drops down by your butt. Right hand and palm come up towards the sun. And you breathe. Inhale and exhale back to your Warrior Two. Inhale and draw the left hand up overhead into an extended side angle. Maybe you find your right hand is placed on your bent leg. Maybe you find it off. Maybe you find it up with your other hand. Wherever you're finding yourself today, it's okay, no judgments. Just being and activating and keeping the awareness at your solar plexus. Inhale, bring yourself back to your warrior two. Straighten that leg. Pivot yourself forward and exhale, come into your Trikonasana. This is where you might want your block behind that leg. Your hand is behind the foot, close to the shin. Twisting your body up so that your gaze is towards the hand that's lifted. And your elbows, your shoulders are stacked right over one another. And you're nice and strong in your core. Exhale, bend the right leg, come back to your warrior two. Pivot the left leg that's back into kind of a long lunge here. And just bring the left leg a little bit more toward the right and come into your warrior one. The toes are at a 45-degree angle, so the toes, your left straight leg, are toward the left corner of your mat. Give yourself a small back bend. And exhale, straighten that leg. Drop the hands down. So now I'm going to give you the option of going into your humble warrior. And just notice how it felt to go from warrior two to a reverse warrior to the extended side angle to warrior two again, and then into your Trikonasana, now into warrior one. And now I invite you to just notice how it feels if you clasp your fingers together in Kali Mudra behind you. Index fingers are together and straight, and your thumbs are together and straight. All the other fingers are clasped around one another. And just see if you can give yourself that range of motion here. Nice strong core. Front leg is straight. Now bend that front leg and slowly pivot your body forward towards, your chest is coming towards that bent knee. And as you do, your arms are coming up over your head and you're slowly bending down towards your bent foot or the bent leg's foot. Reverse warrior. Or a humble warrior. And as you find yourself in this humble warrior, just notice how it feels. Inhale deep. Exhale to come out, pushing away with that right foot and coming back with your hands down on either side. Inhale deep. Exhale the left foot to meet your right. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, hands down. And just notice here the way that your body is feeling. So this part is where we transition to the south end of our mats, or wait, north, east, south, the west end of our mats. We are at the south end of our mats now. So inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, bend into your Uttanasana. You might want your blocks here, or just give yourself a lovingly easy bend to your knees and fold in. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale and bring your right foot back. Left leg stays in front. And then you're going to pivot that back foot to where it is now parallel with the short side of your mat, and your heels are in line with one another on the same train track here. Okay, once you find your footing and you feel nice and strong and stable in your foundation, meaning you're hugging your legs in toward one another, you're activating, lifting and spreading your toes wide. Now you feel strong at your core. You can inhale and bring yourself up. Exhale and bring yourself into your warrior two. And just notice here in warrior two the way that it feels in space and time on this side of your body, where your right leg is nice and strong, your foundation. Make sure that your arms are both parallel with the floor and straight over your legs. Your gaze is toward your left hand here. Your bent leg is at 90 degrees. And just try and feel that even distribution with your torso directly vertical to your midline. Inhale, reverse warrior. Palm of the left hand comes up, and you find it above you with your gaze up towards that palm. Notice the way you feel, and remember to breathe. Inhale, exhale, back to your warrior two. Inhale into your extended side angle. Maybe your elbow is on your leg. Maybe it's lifted off. Maybe that left arm is up with your right. However you're finding yourself today in your practice is your authenticity as your ahimsa. Meet yourself where you are today, knowing that everything is perfect, whole, and complete as it is. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Pivot forward, and exhale. You can bring your block to the outside of your leg here, and bring yourself into Trikonasana. Your shoulders should be stacked over one another. Both legs are straight, and your gaze is up towards your lifted hand. Breathe. Feel into your power. Exhale, bring your hands down where your left foot is and pivot that back leg. When you find your footing, you're just going to bring your right foot a little bit more towards the left. Inhale, use the strength of your left foot at the root to bring yourself up into your warrior one. Your back toes are at a 45-degree angle to the corner of the front side of your mat. Your hands can be together here or apart, however is comfortable for you, but that front leg is bent. What kind of a warrior are you today? What are you a warrior of? How are you going to show up? Exhale, bring your hands down on either side of you and straighten your front leg. Again, clasp your fingers around one another. Index fingers are straight and together, and thumbs are straight and together behind you. And as you are finding yourself from warrior two into reverse warrior, into your extended side angle, back to your reverse warrior and into Trikonasana, and then into warrior one, just noticing the transition of your feelings, your thoughts, any memories or emotions that have come up, and welcoming them all. Allowing them all in. And then bend that front leg. Send your torso a little bit closer to the bent leg. Bringing your third eye a little bit closer to your foot in front and your arms above you. Find yourself in humble warrior and notice how you feel. Breathe. Inhale and exhale, push your body back up and drop the arms to your sides. And just notice here. You're going to pivot your left foot to be parallel with the short side of your mat, and then pivot your right foot to be parallel with the short side of your mat, still in a wide-legged stance here. And as you find yourself now facing the west, bring your hands to your hips. Maybe even bring with fists to your wrists. Fists to your hips, rather. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see me and not my behind. But as you are facing west in your mandala practice today, lift at the kneecaps and lift and spread your toes. And feel in your power in this very, very strong empowerment pose. You are in your power. Breathe into that space at the pit of your stomach. You're a warrior. You are grounded. You're strong. And you are in your power. You have a right to act. You have a right to be here. You have a right to feel. So with your aliveness, with your embodiment, with your foundation, your roots, and your structure, and all the emotions that are your birthright, how is it that you want to show up and put your life into action today? Close your eyes and feel into your power. Strong legs, strong glutes, strong core, strong arms, strong neck, strong body, strong mind, controlled emotions, one with spirit. Just breathe. Good. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Clasp them together in Kali Mudra. And exhale. And chop away from the center of your body. Inhale up. And chop away from the center of your body. Release. Inhale up. Exhale down. Releasing it. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And releasing it. Keep going. Strong legs. Strong body. Keep going. And release. Inhale and bring your right foot out towards the north side of your mat. Pivot that back leg towards the north side of your mat here. And exhale, draw the hands down. And meet the right foot to the back leg and come into down dog. Just breathe here, finding a place of transition and rest. Still feeling into your strength, feeling into your power, knowing that you are empowered, that you are embodied, that you are in union right now and right now. Excellent. Bend those knees, bring your gaze to your fingers, and hop or step forward to Uttanasana at the north facing end of your mat. Inhale, halfway look up. Exhale, bend back in. Inhale and sweep your hands up to find yourself in a chair pose. Exhale and bring your right elbow to your left knee. And maybe you find yourself in a little bit of a chair pose twist here. And just breathe. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale and twist over to the other side. Make sure your hips do not waver. Try and keep them square. And try and not to dump your weight onto your knees or your thighs. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Bring your legs down like you're going to come into down dog. Keep your arms straight, but bend your knees and come down slowly. And slowly bring yourself back, hinging your hips, and just noticing now the way that your hips are feeling as you're coming slowly back. Noticing that movement at your hips and the hinging, how it feels in space and time right now. Now find yourself in a standard tabletop. Your big toes are together behind you, creating a triangle, and your arms are shoulder width wide. And we're just going to go into a standard cat-cow here, inhaling up and exhaling, rolling the spine out. So inhale, chin comes up. Exhale, chin comes down towards the chest and spine goes out. Just cleaning the channels. Cleansing the nadis with the Kriya. And bringing back that balance between both sides. We activated, we released, now we're balancing. Inhale, bring your right arm forward and your left leg back. For spinal balance here, exhale, come back to tabletop. Inhale, left hand goes forward, right leg goes back. Exhale, back. Just do a few more of those at your own pace. Amazing work, guys. Come into your child's pose. Knees are as wide as the mat. Big toes are still together. Elbows come as wide as your mat. Forehead comes down to the earth. Thumbs come together. Index fingers come together right over your head to create a triangle. Just bringing yourself into this diamond Balasana. Feeling into the earth beneath you. Allowing her to take any residual stored energy that's grasping on there. Anything that's holding on that needs to be let go. Let it go now. Let it all go. Earth Mother will take it for you. She's here for you. Always. In all ways. Okay, inhale. Bring yourself into kind of a, your back hinged on your hips or on top of your heels here. And we're going to go into a camel. Now there's a couple of ways you can go into camel here. We're just going to open up our solar plexus. So inhale, rise up. So your hips are stacked over your knees here. And when you're doing that, now you're drawing the awareness and you're engaging by drawing the pelvis in, engaging at your core and your glutes here. So you could easily come lower yourself back like this and not giving yourself a back bend at all. You know, so you could just easily kind of rock yourself like this because you're so strong at your core. So that's a real important foundation. Your big toes are together behind you, kind of creating this tripod between your knees and your toes. So you could easily come back if you need to. I invite you to use a blanket if this is too much on your knees. But this is the first position that you can find yourself in for your camel. Your elbows are pointed toward your back body or toward the back wall behind you. And again, how we started with our neck rolls, a nice strong neck here. That's why we began that way. Nice strong neck. So you're almost creating that double chin that looks awkward, but it doesn't matter because you're creating foundation and stability and security for your body. All right, so your shoulders are coming back, elbows are behind. Chin is nice and activated at your neck. And your core is nice and strong at your knees all the way up to your pelvis. And you can come back, finding yourself here. If you find yourself deeper, maybe you find yourself here. If you can reach all the way back and touch your heels, you might find yourself here. But you're not dumping your neck and reaching all the way back like this. If you find yourself there, come out the way that you just saw me. Don't come out by trying to lift your head while you're in camel. So again, nice and strong at your core. Your foundation is first. Once you feel nice and strong, then you reach back. Inhale, exhale, and lower yourself down. And feel activated at your solar plexus. Feel strong, feel stable, feel activated at your neck. Your sternocleidomastoid muscles and your trapezius muscles are holding you. And breathe. You are in your power. You are protected. You are patient. You are present. And you know your purpose. The 5 P's are the keys to life. Slowly hinge your hips back onto your heels. And bring yourself into your child's pose once more. Give yourself a little bit of a counter pose here for a few seconds. Just be there in that space. Slowly inhale and make your way back up. And roll to one side, bringing your sit bones to the earth. And stretch out your legs in front of you to where they're at a 45-degree angle. Lift and spread your toes so that they're nice and activated all the way up to your core. Good. So from here, you're going to bring one of your legs in. So let's say your left leg. Let's just bring your heel in to where your bottom of your foot is touching the inside of your thigh here. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use your torso, pulling your chest forward with an inhalation. Exhale and turn your body toward the leg that is straightened. Inhale again. Exhale with a straight back and bring yourself down toward your foot. Now you should feel a little bit of a nice spinal twist here and a little bit of the lengthening of your latissimus dorsi muscle along your back here. What you're wanting to do is bring your arms as close as you can to your foot. So if you can wrap your fingers around your foot and come all the way down to where your forehead is touching your shin. Excellent. Just make sure that when you are in that asana, that you are practicing ahimsa. You are not going to harm yourself. The key to yoga is that we are not lengthening or hyperextending at our tendons, but we're lengthening at our muscle, which means that we're activating first. Okay, so you're lifting and spreading your toes, activating all the way to the core here. Then turning the body, inhale, exhale, come down, keeping that activation in the foot. And then you bring yourself down. Very important key here. And breathe. Feel rooted and stable. Feel the foundation holding you in grace and ease. And the more you breathe, the more you're stabilized. Push the bottom of your leg in towards the earth. Inhale, come up. Slowly inching your way back to where your spine is comfortably erect and turning yourself back to a neutral position in your spine. Excellent. Now you're going to switch your legs. So you bring in your right bottom of your foot to the inner part of your thigh here. Left leg comes out straight. Lift and spread those toes. You are creating a foundation in your leg all the way up to the core. Okay. So when you're doing this, you're nice and strong, stable. Foundation is important. Think red. Think that you have like a square that you're sitting on that's stable. And you're in that square. And as you're sitting on that square, it's got stable structure and foundation. Just think, that is my root. That is my root. That's the tap root. Nothing can pull me away from that, right? So hold that tightly. Feel the strength coming into your core by lifting and spreading the toes wide. Inhale. Exhale and turn your torso toward the left. Inhale, and you're going to bring with a straight spine. You're not like rolling your spine, you're straightened, and you're slowly lowering yourself toward that left foot. So you want your shoulders to be in alignment. You don't want them to be tilted like this. You don't want them to be tilted like this. So you want to try and keep as aligned as you can. So if you're here, your spine is straight, exhaling and turning the spine this way. Inhale, and you bring your body this way. Now you're rolling over this leg slowly and comfortably. Now, if that's not working for you, you can always bring that leg in a little bit more and try that way, or you can bring it out a little more and try that way. This is called svadhyaya. It's self-study, and it's really getting to the adjustment that's needed for your physical body in your physical asana practice, okay? Meet yourself where you are today. And just bring yourself there as far as you can without hurting yourself. Maybe root the back of your leg a little bit more into the earth beneath you. Let her have it. Create the mycelium at the back of your leg to really, really, really have as many root hairs as you can that are digging into the earth and saying, I've got you. You are stable. You are protected and in your power. And I'm supporting that. Inhale, come up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And turn your body back to neutral. Wonderful. And just bring in that leg to where you are now finding yourself in your Sukhasana. And just notice the way that your body feels right now. Congratulate yourself for that journey that you just went through. Okay, so now you're going to just reach your feet back behind you into a wide-legged balasana, and just come into your balasana one last time. And just flatten out your arms, really flatten out that back, and allow it to just neutralize into the earth and into the space. Just dig into your hips and really feel that wide-legged stance in your hips, into the flexors, allowing some space to open up for you. Excellent, come back up. Okay, now you're gonna find yourself on your stomach here. A few more asanas. All right, so as you find yourself here, your chin is at the mat and your arms are on either side of you here. So when you inhale, you're lifting your upper body and your legs off the mat. Exhale and stay there. Inhale and lift yourself a little bit further. Exhale and stay there. One more time. Inhale and lift yourself a little bit further. Exhale and drop that. Come to your right ear and breathe. Okay, come back up to your chin. Breathe. Let it all out. Inhale, come back up, rolling the shoulders back. Chest comes off the floor, knees and legs come off the floor. And breathe. Breathe again. Maybe you find yourself a little bit higher up. Maybe you find yourself reaching back and grabbing at your ankles, coming into a bow. And breathe. Releasing all that energy back to Mother Earth from your solar plexus. Bring your heels towards your butt and release. Bring your left ear to the mat. Let it all out the side. Again. One more just like that. Just let it out. Create a little pillow for yourself here. And just be here for a moment before we turn over. Roll onto one of your hips. And prop yourself up. Roll onto your back body. And find yourself all the way to the earth beneath you. Hug in your knees to your chest. And just give yourself a little bit of a back massage here. Rolling from side to side. Good. Heels come to the earth. Knees are bent. Hands are on either side. Feel that the tips of your index fingers are touching the heels of your feet. But if you lift your chin, remember how I told you kind of give yourself this double chin so that you have a nice strong neck to lift up. And look, do you see your toes at all when you look on either side of your hips? If you don't, awesome. If you do, bring your feet in a little bit closer to each other. All right, so you're feeling the back of your heels here. Excellent. Bring your head back down. We're going to go into bridge. Inhale up. Exhale and peel your spine back down. Inhale here. And engage even stronger at your core. To engage stronger at your core, your pelvis just tilts a little bit. And you're bringing your ribs in towards the back body a little bit more. Inhale back up. Hips rise a little bit further. Exhale back down, peeling the spine from vertebra to vertebra until you hit the base of your spine. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. We're going to inhale to a count of 4 with our hands coming up overhead. And then exhaling to a count of 8. Are you ready? So it looks a little something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our hands and our hips are moving in unison with one another according to the timing of our breath, okay? So again, feel back. Your heels should be as far away as your arms distance with your fingertips spread. All right. So inhale, hands come up for a count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Up. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good, and drop that. And just notice the way that your breath and your body are feeling after a little bit more awareness to the ratio. Prolonging that exhalation. Just noticing the way that that felt. Was it comfortable? Was it a little awkward? No judgments, no right or wrong, just noticing. Okay, so we'll start again. This time, we're going to just give a little hold at the top and a little hold at the bottom, and we'll notice that it naturally does that anyway, and you'll see what I mean when I start, okay? So inhale, 4 counts, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 2, up, 2, 3, 4, oops, hold at the top. In other words, you're holding your breath, and down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, holding at the bottom, suspending the breath, back up, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, and 2. So you're holding as a suspension of 2. That means you're holding out the breath for 2 counts. Then you're inhaling the breath for 4 counts. And then you hold for, at the top of your breath, in for 2 counts. And then come out with the exhale for 8 counts. Okay? That's just a ratio that you can use that really helps you become aware that there are 4 parts to your breath. The inhalation, the retention of the breath, the exhalation, and the suspension of your breath. So it's just another tool to use to build your awareness to how you can control even some emotions that come up just by building a little bit of focus on your breath. Okay, so go ahead and just relax for a moment. We're just going to come into a moment's shavasana here. So go ahead and drop your legs on either side of your mat and bring your arms on either side of you, palms facing up. Shavasana is a time for you to just let it all go. Release into the stillness. So I invite you to find your entire back body touching the mat here, touching the earth beneath you. Allow your ankles to roll out on either side. Allow the feet to get heavy and relax. Allow your ankles and shins, calves, and knees to drop out away from the midline and melt into the space beneath you. Allow them to melt into the space beneath you. Your thighs, your hips, gluteals, abdomen, upper torso, all relaxed. Your whole back body is melting into the space beneath you. Lower back, middle back, upper back, heavy. Shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands, and fingertips, all relaxed. Feel the space behind your head and feel it get heavy. Feel your face soften. Your forehead, eyebrows are unfurrowed. Eye sockets are unquivered. Cheeks are soft. Jaw is unclenched. Tongue is dropped away from the hard palate of the mouth. Your whole body is completely relaxed. Whole body is relaxed. Just rest in the stillness of the moment. begin to bring the breath back to the physical body with an audible breath. Invite some movement back to your body slowly. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe rock your head from side to side. Slowly roll to one side, whichever is calling to you today. And just use your arms to prop yourself up into your seated position. Come into this new sense of awareness, this new atmosphere that you've created for yourself today. I invite you to really sit with this idea of activation and release and balance of our energetics, of our environmental factors, of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of the self. And we first start that with our pies journaling, asking how we can show up, holding ourselves accountable by looking back on it throughout the day and doing the things that we can for ourselves to follow through with what our pious bodies needed from us in that day. And coupling it with an intentional yoga practice, asana practice. So our sankalpa today was really balancing the Manipura chakra. I thank you for being with me on that journey. And hopefully next week you will join me again for Anahata. And that will be one of those places that could be a little activating. I want to, just forewarn everyone now that when we're working in that center, that's a threshold place. A threshold between the lower worlds and upper worlds, our Anahata, our heart chakra. So as we go into that space next week, just invite a little bit of grace for that. And know that, we are working through these areas of our body to bring activity. We are working with pranadharana, where the mind goes, the energy will follow. And we're balancing it out by activating and releasing and drawing our awareness there with a good, healthy intention of how we want to show up today. So thank you. And I honor you. I see you. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yours in yoga always, Hari Om. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. See you next
next week. Thank you for joining.